Don't expect it to just hand you things. You also need to be putting in that work. This is my week 5 recap for The Artist Way. Okay, starting out with morning pages. I still really love doing morning pages. I feel like recently I've been like, when I write, I feel like I'm slowing down, but in the way of like not knowing what to write because I feel like I've written so much. Um, I actually got a new journal for it because I have just this little bit left. I have been writing and writing, and I've been better at writing my 3 like chosen affirmations or like creative affirmations for like right after I do my morning pages. So I've been keeping up with that, but I don't really say all my like the whole list of affirmations every day. But if I'm ever at my desk, I'll just go ahead and read down the page. For the artist date, I don't really have much to say. I didn't do an artist date this week. I'm sick and I'd rather just stay home. So that's that's it for that. So the theme for this week, it was talking about recovering a sense of possibility. So what are the payoffs with being or feeling stuck? And are we putting the blame of being stuck on ourselves or others? The first little section is talking about limits. We need to sit down and stop downplaying what we're capable of doing. You know yourself best and should be confident in what you're doing. Later in that same section about limits, it's talking about we might feel that our luck will run out, or that like when our wishes or desires or manifestations are, when they start to come to life, we tend to send back those those different things and feel like we're not deserving of it. We need to trust and let that energy flow where it needs to go. There's enough energy for all of us. The energy from the universe is infinite. Don't feel like you're asking for too much. And I feel like that would be a nice time to remind yourself of that. I feel like it definitely helps me just not feeling guilty, and at least just knowing that I'm or you are enough and you're allowed to take up space and get what you deserve. Need to remember your luck isn't going to run out. The energy from the universe is our source, and that energy is extended to us. This is sort of how, not even sort of, this is, oh, that really hurt. That is how Reiki works. If you don't know what Reiki is, it's a form of energy healing and you're using your hands. But anyways, when with Reiki or what I'm talking about, you're not using your own energy, you're using the energy from the universe. Don't be afraid to ask the universe for answers, but be sure to listen and just accept the messages that it gives you, whether it's like a sign you see that resonates with what you're asking for, or maybe it's like something in your dreams that you've seen. But with that, do not expect the universe to just, or whatever you believe in, don't expect it to just hand you things. You also need to be putting in that work. The next little section was called Finding the River. A part of that section that I liked, it said recovery is a process of finding the river and saying yes to its flows, rapids, and all. We need to let go of any expectations we may have and just be open to what's coming. So instead of saying no, start saying yes to the opportunities that you're given. The more work we put into ourselves, or just put into bettering ourselves to grow, to heal, or just experience life in general, and doing that without holding ourselves back, we become more true to ourselves and more open to what is to come next. We're also kinder to ourselves and others, and feel like we're also less judgmental to others along with ourselves. Morning pages plays a big part in that. We're able to just let go of those negative feelings and thoughts and allowing ourselves to just let go on the pages. So, again, like I've said in many or the other videos, everything starts with you. So be intimate with yourself, be kind to yourself, show yourself love, just be vulnerable with yourself, be kind. And the last little section was called the Virtue Trap, and it was talking and kind of like asking us if we are being self-destructive or not. Are we allowing or giving ourselves downtime, or just time to do nothing, time to just be alone and relax? This is sometimes hard for me because I feel like I always need to be busy 24/7. I think that also just has to deal with how I grew up or how I was raised, and not feeling like I could just rest and relax and have a moment to myself. Was always being told that there was always something to be done, and that's not true. You're allowed to, again, just rest and relax, just chill. Everything can be put on pause. I feel like I've been a lot better with that and not beating myself up as much. And also just letting myself just rest and knowing that there's no need to feel guilty about letting myself relax. As artists or people in general, we need time to just recharge, and not giving yourself that time to recharge or just be alone, you're kind of just abandoning and neglecting your needs. So we got to listen to our bodies and do what we need to do. We might feel like we're being selfish when we take time to ourselves, but there's something selfish with nurturing your needs. In that section, it had a little quiz called the Virtue Trap, and it had 10 little questions that it needed you to just answer really fast. I'll put a picture here or maybe in the next little thing. And I kind of like that. It just made me realize like where I'm kind of putting my energy towards, like whether it be other people or myself. The other little exercise that it had was a wish list exercise, and it had you list 19 different wishes that you obviously would want, because wishes can be anything. And it was nice to see all the different things that I wrote. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I could easily work on and get. The last little thing I'll talk about is the task, and I'll just talk about a few of them. So, and these kind of go all together. The first one in this chunk, it was asking your favorite creative block, and I'm assuming that is asking you what you like to do while you're in a creative block. The next task after that was asking you what the payoff for being in a creative block is. When I'm in creative block, I don't really, or I try to not beat myself up about it as much and look at it as a time to take a break and focus on other little hobbies that I have. I know that with creative block, when I get out of it, I feel more inspired and feel like I have more ideas. The last task that goes with those other two is asking who is the person to blame for creative block. My answer, I just put myself. I feel like I tend to do all my ideas or projects all at once and burn myself out really fast. That's helped me with that is making a list of everything I want to do and work on, and picking one thing to work on. My neighbor's dogs are barking. So making a list of everything I want to work on and picking one at a time to just slowly work on it each day. It is everything for my week 5 recap. Now, on to week 6.